I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos where you will get some interesting takes on Vedic astrology, some interesting learning on Vedic astrology, which I can usually will not upload on general YouTube platform. So that will help me grow as a channel, and that will help me take care of the cost of production of this YouTube channel and the other two channels that I have, Punneit Astrology Hindi and Lifetime Soul. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there.
Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel, and this video we are going to discuss about Mars transit in the sign of Virgo. Now Mars will make its move in the sign of Virgo on 6th of September, and you can see Mars will move in the Uttara Falguni Nakshatra in the sign of Virgo and will find Mercury in Hasta Nakshatra. So this is a very significant transit, so let's understand this transit ascendant by ascendant quickly to understand how it is going to work for you. But before that, do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss another update. Follow me on Instagram and on Telegram to get much more astro updates, reels, some interesting stuff and much more. And if you want to take my consultation, you can drop me an email. The email ID is in the description box below. Let's start Mars transit in the sign of Virgo for all ascendants. Ascendant number 1, Aries ascendant. Now in case of Aries ascendant, if you see, Mars rules the sign of Aries, and ascendant lord goes into 6th house. That is the first significant thing that you have to understand. Then ascendant lord joins the 6th lord. They form a combination like this. 6th lord is exalt. So definitely this means duties and responsibilities and execution of duty and responsibility becomes the theme of Mars transit. Virgo is a sign of conflict. Virgo is a sign of fights. It is a sign of diseases. It is a sign of healing also. So Mars and Mercury is going to give you fight for your disease, fight for your health. So you should take care of your health, especially health of your nerves, and you should also take care of any blood related issue. Ascendant lord going into the 6th house with an exalted Mercury in the 6th definitely means that it will help you heal, and it will help you get rid of any disputes, any kind of issues in your life, and also it helps you gain leverage over any court cases that you have, provided the karma is right on your end. Now when Mars goes into this particular house, the sign of Virgo, see the position of moon and sun. Moon is combust and Mars is also combust. Now why moon is important? Because moon rules the 4th house. That means the day you are going to take up the responsibility, you are not going to like that. But that's okay, because that is something that you're supposed to do. This Mars will have a 4th aspect on the 9th house. Therefore, you will have to take precautions while you travel. This Mars will have the 7th aspect on the 12th house, which means you will have to present a valid argument, and you will have to be very data oriented to defend your case. Be it your issues in marriage, marital life, be it a medical thing, you have to be very methodical and practical, and you have to basically ground yourself. Now there is something else going on here. If you see, Mars 8th aspect falls on ascendant. Now this is something which can destroy your ascendant. That means Mars can destroy its own home if you do not do what you're supposed to do. So it's like a compulsion where you are asked to do something and you have to do, and if you don't do, then this can prove negative for you. Definitely there is a respite, because when Mars enters Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, Mars will be exalted in the Navamsha. Mars will be in Capricorn Navamsha. Now because Mars enters Capricorn Navamsha, the day Mars enters Virgo, Capricorn Saturn will definitely affect. the Martian energies, because they are forming the Nav Pancham. They are in the trine to each other. Because Mars and Saturn are in trine and Saturn is retro, this can create impatient nature. So wait until Saturn becomes direct to get rid of any kind of anxiety or nervousness. Overall, I will say this is a thought-provoking, this is a karmic transit, and this is a transit of getting rid of responsibilities, taking challenges head-on, planning and executing what you dream, what you desire, but with a great sense of practicality. Hurry and things will go wrong. Be patient, play tactfully, and Venus will support you, because Venus will be in the sign of Libra, balancing your entire life, aspecting Ascendant in a positive way. Expect good things if you follow the right track and live life in a copybook style. Ascendant number 2, Taurus Ascendant. In case of Taurus Ascendant, Mars rules 12th house and 7th house. 12th house is the house of losses, whereas 7th house is the house of marriage and contracts, career. This Mars goes in the 5th house. So definitely it is a positive thing. This means something from the foreign land comes and fulfills your needs. You also get to know information, knowledge, wisdom from far off lands, people who are very far from you. Maybe you are in trouble and you are getting connected with a friend after a very long time who is not even in your own country. Maybe you are in India and he is in, say, US. And after a long time you discuss and he gives the best suggestion. You were looking for that answer. So you are getting the answers from a distant land. In this case, because it's a 5th house, you need to pray to Ma Saraswati. Chanting Saraswati mantra, doing Saraswati vandana, Saraswati prayers are going to be extremely beneficial, especially if you are a student. Student means not only just college or school student, but also if you are a student if you are into academics in your office also. Well, this is also a good time to think more about higher learning, think about education. This is also the time when you plan your child's future, because Mars and Mercury is going to make you anxious about the same. Remember, this is the time when issues related to married life will become very high. If you are already going into a marital issue, and if your Mahadasha is not supportive, Mars may make you a bit nervous and make things literally go bad. Because 5th house is also the house of expression. You must also express wisdom. You should not be totally methodical, totally mechanical. You should also have a sense of practicality and love and affection. But also, you cannot simply drown yourself into emotions. Because this time, the Earth trine is afflicted by malefic planets. You see this trine. Taurus has Rahu, Virgo has Mars, and Capricorn has retrograde Saturn. So the trine is affected. Now, because this trine is affected, you have to think a lot. Not only that, after 14th of September, just 8 days after Mars transit, Jupiter will enter the sign of Capricorn, further increasing the affliction of the trine. On one hand, Jupiter's aspect on the trine will give some relief, but only if you are following the path of Jupiter, if you are following the path of wisdom. So learn. This is the transit to learn, gather as much information as you can, gather as much knowledge as you can. Soon Sun will also join Mars. Mars is combust for the entire period. So you might not know the true essence of your life. You might not know what problems are you facing. But then applying brain, applying logic will give you the right answer. Applying emotions will actually push you into the negative side. So be practical, because Mars is definitely aspecting the 4th house, so it will protect any unnecessary ups and downs in life, provided you are following the path of Jupiter, because Sagittarius is in the 8th house. Mars aspects the 11th house, good for income, good for money, good for investment. Mars aspects the 12th house. Because it has 8th aspect on the 12th house, it is good because it will destroy the negativity, it will destroy the losses. But only if you're using this Martian energy without getting nervous, anxious, without taking hasty decisions, and with proper patience and knowledge. Ascendant number 3, Gemini Ascendant. Now in case of Gemini Ascendant, Mars and Mercury will be in the 4th house. Now definitely Mars has a very important role to play. Mars rules your 6th house and Mars rules your 11th house. These are called Upchaya houses. Being Upchaya houses means it is going to be responsible for your finances and anything that is stuck, especially matters related to property or disputes related to ancestral property, will get resolved possibly in the Mars transit because Mercury will support this Martian movement. Not only that, because Mars aspects to Kendra Bhava and it is in one of the Kendra Bhava, means 75% of your life gets affected by Mars. In fact, 100%. How? Mars is in 4th house. Mars is with Mercury, so it impacts ascendant. Then Mars aspect falls on 7th house by the 4th aspect, so it impacts marriage, so it makes you more conservative at your own home, so you will talk more logic, you will try desperately to resolve issues in your home. Mars 7th aspect falls on the 10th house, therefore it will try to dominate on the career. So don't get anxious because there are problems in your career, because this time Mars is impacting your entire frame of mind, all areas of life. So Gemini is one horoscope where Mars impacts all the Kendra Bhav, you, your mother, your home, your assets, your marriage, your business, and your career, reputation, everything. So in this case, there is a very high chance that your reputation may get damaged. So don't do something stupid that can aggravate this issue, because Rahu is in the 12th house and it is impacting Mars. So one wrong decision and Rahu will take away whatever assets you have built, whatever platform you have built for yourself, and then you have to fight to get it back. Do not bring that fight in your life unless your horoscope is that strong or you are enforced into that kind of fight. The good thing is that the 11th Lord is in the 4th house. So people who are in real estate, people who are into institutions, earning through real estate business, earning through asset management, they will benefit because 11th Lord, source of income, falls in the 4th house. Also 6th Lord goes in the 4th house and sits along with the 1st house. So that means matters of your home, health of your mother, all these areas will get impacted because of the Mars transit, and you will have to personally address those issues. If you do not address them personally, your entire life will be affected. So better to take things in your own hand and solve it for your own good. One thing is that Jupiter will soon move in the 8th house. This Jupiter will aspect the 2nd house, which is the Kutumb Bhav and the value system. So whatever you have to do it after 18th of September, because after that Jupiter will be in a certain position to impact the sign of Cancer, and this will be the exaltation aspect of Jupiter. This means that matters related to family disputes, matters related to in-laws will come to some sort of conclusion. Job related scenario will also change, and career will move in a positive direction. All you have to do is maintain patience and have a headstrong attitude. Ascendant number 4, Cancer Ascendant. Now in case of Cancer Ascendant, Mars is a Yoga Karaka planet. Not only it rules one Kendra Bhav, that means the 10th house, it also rules the 5th house, which is also one of the trine. Such Mars goes into the 3rd house. Now this is definitely gain of the 5th house. So you are getting respite from the issues related to the 5th house, that is past life, positive karma, children, productivity. So you will take matters in your own hand because 3rd house is your hands. And because Mercury will be in Hasta, the nakshatra of hands, you are going to create something in the Mars transit. Create what? Create or craft your own career. Create your own pathway. This is also the time frame when you do things that you always want to do. So this is a brilliant time for you, I will say. 3rd house Mars and Mercury is only going to create problem during the modern time because of the communicable disease. So you have to be careful from the health perspective. Mars fourth aspect on the 6th house, with 6th lord being in the 8th house and then going to the 7th house, means you have to be very careful about your health. Health is one area where you can get really impacted. Otherwise this Mars transit is actually going to work wonders for you. This means that you are putting your head, putting your hands, putting your designation, putting your reputation in line for things you believe. Don't just take a leap of faith, take a leap of practical approach, and if you can do that, you will see that Mars transit is going to give you some real positive vibrations. Because Mars 7th aspect will fall on the 9th house, which is decently good, but Mars 8th aspect falls on your career. So definitely career and reputation is one that gets maximum impacted. Now, on a negative side, on the flip side, because Mercury also rules 12th house, this means you will have to take matters and you will have to face issues, especially from the court perspective, from the case of court and legal matters. So you will have to make your papers ready. You will have to be very, very methodical. You will have to protect yourself. Defense is the key here, not attack. Have a solid defense in your life, be it in any area that you are thinking things can go wrong. Create a backup plan. Create a financial backup plan. Create a backup plan for career. Don't just take just a jump from the cliff. But when you are jumping from the cliff, ensure that you have a working parachute. That way, you will not only be living a life of adventure, but also you will be living a life of your dream. This is a brilliant time. But yes, same amount of care and alertness is necessary, because without awareness, one mistake and things will cascade into deep failures. Ascendant number 5, Leo ascendant. Now this is something unique. Well, your ascendant lord is making this Mars go combust, and for the entire duration Mars will remain combust. Whatever aspect of Jupiter your ascendant was getting will no longer get, because Jupiter will go in the 6th house. What does it mean? It means that because of your ego, you will not be able to realize your true potential. You will fight for something that you think it's going to make you feel happy, or it's going to change your destiny. You will fight for your own value system and the principles that you think you follow, or you think you are abide by the rules. But the problem is, because Mars is combust, without logic, without actually putting your consciousness into it, there is no other way to find out whether you are right or wrong. Which means the chance of error is very high. See that the Mars transit happens when Moon is also combust. That means you are not aware of your losses also. So if you're not aware about your strength, if you're not aware about your losses, if you're not aware about what makes you happy, then by what logic are you going to put forward the argument? By what basis are you thinking that you are right? So this is a huge question, and therefore this Mars transit will create an identity crisis. So you will have to fight that identity crisis, and you will have to take it very positively. You have to take it on a very positive and optimistic note. Ego is going to be the biggest enemy. Having a pride on something that is really impractical is also something that can harm you. This is the time to restructure your value system. This is the time when you revisit what you believe in. This is the time when you revisit who you are. This is the time when you revisit who your family is, where from the money is coming, what is your true destiny, what is your true aim in your life, because this is something that you have to target. Moon is in Magha Nakshatra on the day Mars makes its transit in the sign of Virgo. Again, the kingly attitude comes into picture. Your kingly pride will later turn out to be just overconfidence. Don't make that mistake. Be and take a humble approach. In your own words, it's good to apply logic, it's good to debate and criticize, but there should not be any sense of pride. It should not have a superlative expression, rather an expression of correction. You are finding a mistake in somebody, you think it is right, It's okay to put forward a point, but don't press the issue. Don't press the panic button on the other side. Venus on the third house is definitely trying to balance. So you have to sugarcoat things. You have that ability. So when you are presenting facts, don't make it a hard-hitting presentation. Make it that it becomes dignified. Whether you are in office, whether you are at home, whether you are a housewife or you are a working man or you are a man who has retired, doesn't matter. In any area of life, your communication in the upcoming couple of months will decide what kind of man or a woman you are. This will build your character, and this will build a faith in you, on yourself. So don't lose that faith just at the hands of negative emotion or ego or somebody or listening to somebody else, because don't believe your ears at this time. Believe your logic, believe your consciousness, and serve the humanity, because Saturn and Jupiter in the 6th house will also impact your health. So you'll have to take care of your health, because you don't know when the negative health will come and impact you. Also, 2nd house is also food. So you have to take care of all the foods. Remain practical. Don't eat high calorie food unless it is advised by the doctor. And take care of your diet by not eating spicy food, because that will aggravate Mars. You need food that activates the mind, not aggravate the Mars. If you take care of this, this is going to be one of the best transit for you, because after all, Mars is Bhagya Lord, Destiny Lord. You are going to change your destiny by creating values in your life. I hope you make the values the right ones. Ascendant number 6, Virgo Ascendant. In case of Virgo Ascendant, definitely Mars is going to be on your Ascendant. Now let's understand which houses Mars rules. Now this is something very interesting. For Virgo people, Mars rules 8th house and the 3rd house. That means Mars rules all the uncertainties, all the drama, all the problems, and the occult science and the secret knowledge, and the 3rd house. What is so special about the 3rd house and the 8th house? 3rd house is Bhavad Bhavam of the 8th house. That means this Mars is ridden with Ashtam energy, 8th house energies. And this Mars again controls the Kendra. How? Mars will aspect the 4th house, Mars will aspect the 7th house, Mars will aspect the 8th house. Because 10th Lord is Mercury, Mars is with Mercury. So definitely Mars controls all the Kendra Bhava for you. So after Gemini zodiac sign, Virgo zodiac sign is the zodiac that again will get affected on all areas by the Mars transit. Mars and Mercury combination on the head is going to make you really anxious. If you can make the best, this is most calculative combination. This is going to make your mind focus on the data of life, on the personality side. This is the time when the power comes into your life. But this is also the time when you get most agitated, most anxious. This is also the time when the 8th Lord attaches itself with the 1st house. So it alters the personality, it alters the way you think, it alters your approach system. It definitely makes you quit something and restart something new. Not only from the career perspective, but also from the perspective of life. So first of all, you need to think, what kind of personality do you carry? What kind of persona do you have? How you communicate in your life? Because Mercury is the planet of communication. And how you deal with the reputation and the loss of reputation. 3rd Lord, Mars, also goes in the 1st house. This means it's total focus on yourself and total self-transformation. A brilliant time, because this time can be utilized for your own personal growth. This time can be utilized for overall change in your life, and anything that you feel is an obstruction in your life can be overcome. But this is also the time when Mars is going to make you scared. There will be fear in your mind and will make you anxious about what you can lose. Because Sun, which is the 12th Lord, is going to make this Mars go combust. So because Mars is combust by the 12th Lord and Mars is on the Ascendant, there is always a sense of impending doom. Something bad will happen, something wrong will happen, especially if you're a Virgo moon. So in that case, what will happen? That you will constantly have or live in this fear. To get rid of this fear, you need to pray to Lord Hanuman. So chanting Hanuman Chalisa every day is going to be wonderful. It is going to help you get rid of the fear. And what you have to do is simply surrender yourself to Lord Hanuman and say, Hanuman, you take care of my fear, and I am totally at your service, and I am totally surrendering myself at your feet. You can also chant this shloka. Manojavam Maratatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadde. Chanting this particular shloka is also going to give you a lot of power. But if you chant Hanuman Chalisa, or if you chant Panchmukhi Hanumat Kavach, this is going to be a brilliant time for you. Transformation is the key here. And also, because Virgo is the natural 6th house, this also means that you will have to face, or you will have to address the elephant of the room. You cannot escape now. So it's better to take the challenge head on, because you will become victorious. Ascendant number 7, Libra. Now in case of Libra, Venus will also move in the sign of Libra the same day Mars moves in the sign of Virgo. Now this is something unique. When Venus goes in Libra and you are a Libra native, your ascendant gains power because your ascendant lord comes in your own house. But your 7th lord goes in the 12th house. This means that you will gain power, and 7th lord going into the 12th house means separation from spouse. Your business may go places. You can have connection with a long lost partner. You can have a business related travel. Your spouse can travel to a different land. This also means that you and your spouse are now gaining power, but somehow you will have to separate, because after all, 1st lord and the 7th lord are forming 2-12 combination. So definitely there will be some gap, emotional gap, especially if you are a Libra moon. Then there will be emotional gap between you and your spouse, you and your business partner, and you and your surroundings. So if you want maximum travel, obviously travel safely and when it is right, but whenever it is possible, take some safe travel. This Mars will impact the 3rd house. So it will create a doubt. You will focus more on yourself rather than the other people. You will see people leaving you. You will see people going away. So you will have to focus more on your personality, what you like, what you dislike, what is that you want in life, and what is that you want to do. Defend your action, but in a positive way. Mars will also aspect the sign of Pisces in the 6th house. So this means that Mars is going to agitate some hidden diseases. Take care of your health. Mars and Mercury in the 12th house can give you sleepless nights. It can also trigger issues related to brain, nervous system, and you need to be very, very careful on that angle. Because Mars is combust with the 11th lord, you won't see the damage that your actions can do. You won't realize the damage that your words can do. The good thing is that Venus is in Libra, but the bad thing is now it is under Papkartari. So although you are at the comfort of your home, but you don't have freedom to act or react. You have to work accordingly. Not only that, this Venus gets the 10th aspect of Saturn continuously. Because Saturn and Mars are in trine, they are working in a normal fashion, and your ascendant gets hammered by the practical approach of life. So this is the time when you focus on your own identity, calculate loss and take calculated risk. This Mars will give you that power to take that calculated risk and fight for your own causes, fight for your right. This is the time when, if you are supposed to win a battle in the court and it has getting delayed by some negative energies, this is the time when the negative energy will clear and the positivity will come in your life. Have the affirmation of Aham Brahmasmi and meditate in this time frame. Pray to Ma Mahalakshmi so that your Venus can get strong, because the key to handle this Mars is make your Venus powerful. When your ascendant is powerful, you can definitely handle the 7th house. Ascendant number 8, Scorpio Ascendant. Your ascendant is ruled by Mars and your ascendant lord goes in the 11th house. This is a brilliant formation. This is the time when you will reframe your expectation, but this time not by emotion but by logic. Something will definitely happen in your life that will make you think about your expectations from life. That will make you think about what you should get, what you deserve, or what you were imagining. This is good. Mars is also 6th lord going 6th from itself. This is Bhavat Bhavam. This helps you gaining health. This helps you gaining all the positive energy. For Scorpio Ascendant, I feel this is one of the most positive time. Venus is also in the 12th house, like as if it is exalted, balancing the losses. That means you need to be somebody who is a donor, who is giving things out. Help as many people as you can. 6th house is the house of service. The more people you help, the more things that you will get. You will get gains if you are ready to give. So pray to Ma Mahalakshmi and pray to Hanuman and say, if God's and divine blessings are on you, if you get the blessings of the deities, then you will also reciprocate by becoming a better human being. That's the promise that you have to give. Ketu is on your 1st house. Ketu will rip the skin apart and bring a new identity from you. Remember that. Because if you are a Scorpio Ascendant, then definitely Ketu is trying to alter your state of personality, alter the way you think. So you will have to give up your own self to find a new you. And when Mars is in the 11th house, this is when your identity gets the gain of Mercury, which is the 8th house. True transformation comes right now. The biggest transformation of life is right now. 10th house, Sun, is also making Mars go combust. That means your karma is supreme. Read the karmic chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Focus on the laws of karma and understand karma. If you do that, well, the best time of your life is here. Maybe your Mahadasha or Antardasha is not that favorable, but the transit promises so many things that just by the sheer presence of Mars in the 11th house, you can create ripples in your horoscope that will today or tomorrow, whatever you do today, will give you positive results. Just focus on your actions and do selflessly. Your entire aim should be to upgrade yourself as a better human. Sagittarius Ascendant. Well, for Sagittarius Ascendant, Mars holds a very interesting position. First of all, Aries is the fire zodiac that rules the 5th house, and Scorpio, the water zodiac, rules the 12th house. Now, if you see carefully, the 11th house Lord is in 11th house, which is a very positive sign. 2nd house Lord is in 2nd house, which is also a very positive sign, although it is retrograde, soon it will become direct. Jupiter will go on the Capricorn zodiac. It will become debilitated, but there will be a Neech Bhang. The Lagna Lord goes into the 2nd house, positive sign. 5th Lord going in the 10th house, Mars and Mercury, positive sign. What you have to do is you will have to learn. Your reputation can be put online if your knowledge is not up to the mark. So in your career, start learning. Start focusing more on education. Start focusing more on public service. Start focusing more on the Purva Punya. But this also means that this Mars will also act as blessings from the past life, and all the past life positive karma gets unlocked. And this improves your true identity. This improves you. Because this Mars impacts the 1st house by the 4th aspect. Because the 4th aspect falls on the 1st house, it's a defensive aspect. People will defend you. That means there will always be support. And if you are getting support, and if your 7th house is also 7th house Lord Mercury is also along with this Mars, so your 7th and 5th Lord are together, support is definitely there, especially the support from spouse, the support from other people. So when you're getting that support, it means God wants you to win. Fight for the right causes, because Jupiter goes in the 2nd house. They are very strict on what is your value system, what do you think is right, and what is actually right may be different. So if you can find out that difference, And without any ego, without any sense of pride, if you do what you are supposed to do, this is the time of your life. Especially if you have a positive Mars, that means Mars on the ascendant, Mars in the sign of Aries, Mars in the sign of Leo, in your own natal horoscope, or an exalted Mars. This is the time when this Mars and Mercury in the 10th house brings wonderful changes, especially in your career front, home front, as well as in the way you communicate. Mars aspect on the 4th house may give you new opportunities for properties, cars, assets building will happen, and all the loopholes will be cleared, will be corrected and filled. All the gaps will be filled when Mars will move in the sign of Virgo, because this is the sign of action, because it shows that you will fight, but this time the fighting will be with brains. Divine is making Mars go combust. 9th house is called Bhagya. That means fate is favoring you. Make the best use of it. Now coming to ascendant number 10, Capricorn ascendant. Now if you're a Capricorn ascendant native, Saturn is retrograde on the first house. So definitely it is a very heavy transit on your ascendant in the first place. Capricorn is also a zodiac sign which is in trine with Virgo, and it is the house of exaltation of Mars. You can see Jupiter in the nakshatra of Mars going slowly on the ascendant. So definitely once the Jupiter goes in Capricorn, it will aspect the Virgo zodiac sign. Now for you, Mars is also a yoga karaka, because Mars rules your 4th house and 11th house. Because Mars rules 4th, that means mother, family, assets, domestic environment. 11th house, source of income, friends, network circle. When it goes in the 9th house, it is a life-changing transit. This is definitely shows that a transformation is almost certain in these two areas of your life. Why? Because this Mars is combust by the 8th lord. Now every time when I will discuss about Mars, combustion is very important, because for the entire duration of Mars transit, Mars gets combust by the Sun. So definitely Sun will also move in the sign of Virgo in the middle of September. So Sun and Mars combination is also going to be something that you have to look out for. Too much of heat for you in the 9th house. Don't test your luck. Do not try to force yourself. This means that you have to be as practical as possible. You have to work on your true potential. This is the time when your true strength will come out, and you will understand what your destiny is. Now in very few cases, the planets are in such a way that it tells you, or it talks, the universe talks to you, telling you what you're supposed to do, what you're here for, what is your purpose of life. But this is the time when a repeated Samudra Manthan, a repeated internal battle, a churning of the internal mind gives the fruits, and you will get the fruits of your own karma. If you have done positive, if you have invested happiness, you will get happiness. But if your karma is wrong, this Mars aspects the 4th house, from the 12th house with the 4th aspect. Now because the 12th house gets aspected by Mars, definitely if in your horoscope things are wrong, it can create issues related to matters of court. It can put you into isolation. It is good for a foreign travel. It can give you a job in a foreign country. It is good for relocation. It is good for travel. From the career perspective, Venus is in a positive sense, so Mars is not going to interfere much there. But when you are trying to travel for any reason, be it because of marriage, be it because of medicine, because of medical issue, or be it because of your career, don't destroy your home. Do not, in this case, spoil your terms with the current boss, with the current organization, with the current friends, with the current people whom you are living with, just because you got a better future. Do not destroy your current platform because you are about to get a better platform. Because now Ketu is also going to impact you, because Ketu is in the 11th house. This is like something unexpected will happen to you, which is positive obviously. When that happens, be as humble as possible. Don't show power. Display of power can be really negative in this case. Jupiter and Saturn says remain humble. Jupiter's aspect on Mars says remain humble. And if you are humble and you work within your limits, and if you have given enough amount of efforts, this is the time to get the results of your karma. Ascendant number 11, Aquarius ascendant. Now if you are an Aquarius native, Jupiter will transit out of your ascendant on 14th of September. That's the first thing. Second, Mars goes in your 8th house with Mercury. So spouse and the way your spouse interacts with you, what she has to say should be the most important thing to you at this point of time. An exalted Mercury in the 8th house along with Mars, which is the 10th lord, shows that your reputation with your in-laws is at stake. So you must work in a very practical format. Ego is going to be something deadly. Remember, 7th house is also Markesh. 7th lord Sun makes this Mars go combust in the 8th house, which means you would not understand what you're speaking. So you will have to set your expectations straight. You must be aware of what you can lose and then act accordingly. People handling public money are also advised to have a great precaution. This is also the time when your taxation and paperwork, insurance, all that has to be done. No risk approach must be taken, although Mars in 8th house do tend to take a risk, but this can create yoga of accident, at least by transit. Now, definitely Mars rules your 10th house and it goes in the 8th house. Transformation on your career, transformation of your reputation, bad to good, good to bad, depends on your horoscope. But I do see a transformation. 3rd lord goes into the 8th house. That means you are definitely investing something, but investing what? Investing your knowledge, investing what you have learned in your life. But how are you investing? What are you putting in your bank balance? Are you leaving something for yourself, or you are just trying to, you are living in a world of assumption? All these things has to be seen. Rahu in Rohini in the sign of Taurus is only going to give you an illusion of happiness. So be careful on what makes you happy and how are you investing on that happiness. Because Rahu has a 5th aspect on Mars, Rahu will make you invest on wrong things. Don't waste your time into doing things that is non-productive. You have to be very productive and you have to take a very positive approach. Don't be casual about your life, and if you're serious, this Mars is going to transform your life in much better ways than you can even imagine. Because after all, 8th lord is exalt. The divine blessings are on you. You just have to see with your own consciousness, and Vishnu Sahasranam is going to work wonders in this case. Pray to Lord Vishnu and he will guide with the guiding light. Among all the things in the world, Jyotish is something that will help you the most. Now the final ascendant number 12, Pisces ascendant. Pisces ascendant is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is currently in the sign of Aquarius. On 14th it will move to the sign of Capricorn. That means your ascendant lord goes in the house where Mars gets exalted. What is so unique about this? Your ascendant is aspected by Mars because Mars moves into your 7th house. Mars and Mercury in the 7th house means people are going to be critical about you. You are going to get and face the criticism. They will be pointing things at you and you will have to face that. Because 6th house is disputes and 6th lord Sun makes this Mars go combust. Definitely dispute is on the card, so you have to be very, very careful. So whenever you are committing something, whenever you are promising something, whenever you are planning for marriage, do not go overboard. Don't do something that you cannot, don't commit something that you cannot do. Be grounded, be practical, because your words matter the most. 2nd lord is in the 7th house. Your words will be the words of commitment, and your reputation and your how you are seen in the society will be actually judged by the words. You will be judged by people also, by what you have achieved, by what you can do. So question on capacity and capabilities will also rise. Education will be the support here. Try to achieve as much as you can by showing what you can do and not by just talking. Action will speak louder than words for you. Venus in the 8th house will definitely balance the undulating platforms of life, but Sun and Moon in the 6th house definitely shows that this is going to be a balance of power, balance of karma between the past life and the karmic loans. So this is the time when you repay the karmic loans. If you get people who are in dispute, means you will have to listen to them. Do not react, but give a proper and an honest and a humble response. And that's how you can deal with Mars in the sign of Virgo in the 7th house. Well, Mars don't rule your negative houses. Mars rules your 9th house. So 9th lord going in the 7th house also means support is coming from the spouse. Support is also there because after all, Mercury is exalt. If 10 people criticize you, the 11th one will support you, and that support will be enough to answer all the 10 people and maybe 10 more. That's how it is. So don't lose hope. Don't give up. The first few days of the Mars transit will be difficult, but slowly as the Mars transit reaches 50 or 60% maturity, you will see that things slowly starts moving in your favor, and you will have to have the patience. In case of impatient approach, expect negative outcome. If you react, then things can really go negative. Now, because 6th lord and 7th lord are connected here, you need to take care of your health. You need to take care of your disputes. Do not fight unnecessarily. Do not push yourself into unnecessary arguments, debates and controversies. This is the time of care and caution, and so you have to maintain it that way, because 2nd lord is Markesh. It is in another Markesh house, 7th house. Nothing bad will happen unless your horoscope says so. But if the transit is slightly negative, or if there is a slight of concern in this transit, you have to be careful. Also, this earth element trine, which is called the trine of karma or the desire, is now ridden with malefic. So you have to take control of what you desire, because your desire can drive you to the negative side of the life and can make you do things that you really don't want to do. In this time frame, you need to pray to Mahavishnu, chant Vishnu Sahasranam, and take a glass of water, chant Vishnu Sahasranam, and drink that water as the blessings from Vishnu. Let the water go within you, reach all corners of your body and purify you. Purify your mind, body and soul. Meditate and do yoga. The more purified you are, the more energy you dissipate, the better you will feel. Jog, walk, run, do yoga, whatever makes you feel happy, whatever gives the agility in your body, do that. And always keep your mind engaged in constructive and optimistic habits, optimistic things. Well, you can solve Sudoku and maths puzzles. That will be not only creative, but also sharpen your skills. So guys, that was the brief analysis on the Mars transit in the sign of Virgo for all ascendants. I hope you like this, and if you like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and if you are the returning subscriber, please explore my other videos and give your suggestions in the comment section. You can also join me on Patreon, which not only supports my channel, my YouTube channel, but also helps me to give you much more deeper insights in a special member exclusive videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I appreciate your time. We'll meet in the next video. This is your host Puneet. Namaste.